Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And today I want to start a little bit of a discussion. If you could only pick one out of the top 10 cryptos, which one would you choose? And I'm actually asking you guys this because I want to see a couple of discussions down there. Why this coin is better than the other. For example, some person will most likely pick Shiba, another will pick Ethereum, another will pick ADA, another will pick XRP. It's fun to see people's different opinions on the specific matter here. I think it's going to be interesting. Having said that, let's cover some news today, huh? We have a ton of stuff to cover. First of all, John Deaton shared this over on Twitter. It's not going to be only Twitter, guys. You can see at the top here, we have a ton of stuff. Apollo Group helped bankroll Gensler's MIT lab. When Leon Black was forced to resign from Apollo, who got the call? Jay Clayton was brought in. We learned from Gasparino and Eleanor Tourette's reporting that Gary Gensler met with Clayton several months before the enforcement action against Ripple and XRP was filed. We also know Clayton met with Gensler the day before filing the lawsuit. So this is a little update for everybody that's basically involving themselves in the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. It basically just confirms a lot of people's suspicions that there's really more in the background between Gensler and Jay Clayton than people might realize. And what exactly it is, we'll have to wait and find out. But that's exactly the threads that are being pulled right now, or being spread, or whatever you want to say right there, sewn in right now. That's exactly what's being figured out as we currently speak. What exact connections did they have? What exactly was the incentivization or incentive? And here, for example, interesting thread on where the funding came for Joy to build the MIT lab and recruit Gary Gensler. The biggest report of the nation was $5.5 million from Leon Black of Apollo Capital Management. Question, had Gensler ever worked on crypto before Joy brought him to MIT? Then again, you can see, as we saw before, Apollo Group helped bankroll Gensler's MIT lab. When Leon Black was forced to resign from Apollo, who got the call? Jay Clayton was brought in, and it's all connected, which is interesting. The more you look into it, the more difficult and ununderstandable, basically, that it gets. And so, it's basically a rabbit hole. John Deaton just shared this. Please keep digging, and thank you, Gasparino. Maybe your efforts, along with the XP holders, will lead to an independent investigation with subpoena power. That's, again, about an hour ago. As Eleanor Tourette's just shared, as Gasparino and I reported to you in our Twitter Live 2 weeks ago, I'm currently working to find out how much of all AH's A16C fund is made up of Ethereum and Bitcoin investment. It's a little bit of a, I think it's Andreessen Horowitz, right? Let's quickly see. The Silicon Valley firm Andreessen Horowitz, whose founders played big roles in development of the internet, aims to own a huge party of the digital currency. I believe Ethereum is going to say right there. But yeah, right now there's also an ongoing battle, as I've said before, about the whole exposure thing of basically trying to understand where exactly the line was of who incentivized who with what type of money and what exactly was being done in the background. It's just interesting, very, very interesting. And we hope that in the end, the SEC will be exposed like I talked about last video. All right, one other part that has to do with the lawsuit before we go into just crypto news here. It has to do with BlackBerry XRP. He's been doing a wonderful job over on Twitter. He said, all right, David Gokhshtein, XP Army needs your help. Please retweet this and share it to the forum to sign up for the XP class action because XRP is not a security currently. You've always helped the little guy be part of history. Retweet. And again, Mr. Intuitive here, Mr. BlackBerry XP, is basically going around and telling everybody, all the big guys, to share the John Deaton class action lawsuit form where you can basically enter your name to say to the SEC and to the world that you are an XRP holder and you don't stand for this nonsense, I guess, which is very important, to participate in that sense. This stuff is very important. All right, this is already a little bit new, I guess old, as I've been stalling to make this update, but there was a little bit of a flash crash yesterday. I told you guys I'm going to look into it. To be honest with you, we didn't really find any really good explanation. It was just some altcoins crashing, which caused more crashing to happen. But when we looked at the real numbers, it was actually Bitcoin crashing first. And so all I can say about it is just a manipulated little wave to cash in some stop losses, as again, Bitcoin just crashed a little bit without really any good explanation for it. U.S. regulators are exploring policies that would allow banks to handle cryptos. Yeah, this stuff is happening right now as we speak. Again, you can't really say too much about it except for the fact that banks are surely looking into it. They'll surely give us some crazy updates in the shortest amount of time, but it's a waiting game to see what exactly they're going to choose. And like I talked about today at the little online conference, the Bitcoin Global Festival, there's a lot of countries right now who are trying to make crypto regulations and trying to basically make rules for the entire crypto space, or at least for it within their borders. It's not easy to do though, guys. It is extremely difficult to do because there's only two ways to go about it. Either very hard or very soft. And with very soft, you basically get no regulations whatsoever. With very hard, you go extremely hard at it, which usually is met with more resistance, because think about it back. There's no middle way. How's there no middle way? How does that work? Well, what can they do? They cannot just half accept crypto. They're either going to have to make some clear and open rules, which might embrace it, which are completely nice then, which is the soft approach, or completely go against it. Because, as I've said before, there's just no middle way. Just accept it. There's no middle way to go about these things. They either have to embrace crypto or be fully against it. The middle way, in my own personal words and my own thought process, would be where they say, oh yeah, we're open to crypto, but there's going to be a lot of restrictions. But then again, that always turns out to be the worst case. No, I really believe firmly there's only two ways to go about it. And right now, on the surface, they're looking to go for the soft approach. But we shall see if in reality that's actually the way they're going about these things. We'll have to see as time moves on here a little bit. After 11 years, a sleeping Bitcoin whale wakes up with a large stash of Bitcoin. This type of stuff is meant to scare you off. To be honest with you, it never really matters. If one old whale decides to buy or sell some Bitcoin, at the end of the day, it really doesn't do too much. It really doesn't. It could have been, for example, somebody who just found his wallet back. It could have been so many different things. So if a person actually sells or buys some, why care? Oh, because if that guy is selling, then it must mean things are going to go down from here? No. No, it doesn't. Could again be 1,001 different explanations. It could also be that it's actually, for example, a Bitcoin billionaire right now. Like, for example, what do we want to pick? CZ, the CEO of Binance, or Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, that has just found one of his old wallets again. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to send this to a different wallet of mine. And that would then all of a sudden be a big sale that people are afraid of. Nah. It ain't nothing, baby. All right. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this far, make sure you press that like button. I'm going to have a really hard time putting in all the timestamps, but I got you. Bitcoin is an inspiration for gold's digitalisation, says Sprott CEO. Don't have too many words on that except for saying, yes, it is, right? Logically, it is. Gold has to go digital because that's, of course, where Bitcoin is so competing against and with right now, so it's extremely important. Then Shiba is on a really freaking interesting rise and fall. I've been watching this, and it's beaten Dogecoin, then it came back down, and right now Shiba is back on top. But they're fighting a really fierce battle. Right now, there's $5 billion in between because Dogecoin fell off and Shiba Inu is pumping again, but it's still a pretty fierce battle. And I think over the next couple of days, we might see a lot more action over there. It's very, very, very intriguing to watch, as we don't know where the end result is going to be. Is Shiba going to crash like crazy, or will it be the upside for a longer time and Shiba's going to go to number 3 or even number 2 in the market cap? Like, the sky literally is the limit. I firmly believe that Shiba Inu could actually get to number 3 in the market cap because it's just doubling in price. And to be honest with you, that wouldn't be too crazy. Then again, I do believe a lot of people will sell just before the 100 mark, right now being 76. So that's kind of a little negative side note. This stuff regarding Cardano, I think we already talked about. The founder, Charles Hoskinson, signs an MOU with the government of Brundi. They are doing a lot in that sense. Cardano's doing a lot, all right? A lot with the governments, a lot of work being placed. We also covered the Ethiopian update, I believe yesterday we did. Charles Hoskinson is doing a lot of work for the world in that sense, and I'm very happy to see all these updates from them. It just excites me. It makes me happy to see that. New update, FDIC Chair confirms efforts towards, we already, I guess, covered this a little bit, towards crypto involvement in the U.S. banking system. It kind of coincides with, I guess, our previous article here. So I guess we can kind of skip that one. Photoshop, this is very interesting to me. And wow, we're blazing through news, huh? Photoshop will get a prepare as NFT option by month's end. Apparently, it should be out one of these days right now, as right now, if you want to make an NFT, there's a couple of steps involved. And Photoshop wants to make it so that you just have to press one little button and it's going to automatically be exported basically as an easy NFT. Very good stuff, very, very good stuff. I like it. This is again what you need for massive adoption of these types of updates. So it's very, very good to see. And then, Indian crypto regulation is planned for February. Let's see on that one. I have no idea exactly what they're going to do because usually India changes their mind quite frequently. Indian government is reportedly planning to introduce crypto regulations by the time of the next general budget, which is in February of next year. Instead of banning crypto like Bitcoin, the government is likely to regulate crypto assets as commodities, according to reports. we'll see. This is rumors, this is reportedly, this is that. Even though a couple of official news outlets, like here, for example, Business Today, reported finance ministry officials have told Business Today television that a law for crypto would most likely come around by the time of the next general budget, which is again February. We'll have to see, because you'd never know for sure. It's the same thing as saying, oh, the Senate is going to make a rule on the infrastructure bill, max by the end of September. Well, end of October has passed and there's no ruling. You know, that type of stuff can take months and months and months, and the actual stands can completely change as well. So I don't really hold that too dearly. But again, that is just me. Having said that, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, check out Bybit. A link is down below for that one. Hey, XP is doing pretty nice. Link is down below for that one. There's a ton of bonuses you can get right now for the next couple of days. If you've not made an account yet and not deposited, make sure you do that right now. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. This entire video is not financial or legal advice. Just quickly, the last disclaimer, I guess.